every day. Danny Backus is a Cubs fan. They waited a long time.
I grew up a Mets fan.
You're a good man.
So is Matt Hirsch.
You got to know what hardship's like in life. Yes? You know it, right? Okay. Oh, Skull. They have 0. Jessica, we have Ming. Is he doing? Oh, he's in the live. Okay, the Ming Dynasty. Very good. So we're ready. That's it. Oh, what is this? Okay. Okay. Got it. Good morning.
Morning.
Illegal dumping has been an issue in Paterson for far too long. In fact, our office receives so many complaints about specific hotspots where people have taken the liberty of just dumping whatever garbage that they have. And today, we want to prove a point, or we want to make a point. Paterson is not a dumping ground. And in partnership with DEP, we're going to emphasize you will no longer illegal dump here in Paterson because we have extra eyes on you. We're happy to announce we'll be getting some deterrence equipment, or as you would call it, cameras. And I'm so proud that our assistant commissioner was here about a year ago. In fact, it was a week before everything was shut down. We had a listening session at 60 Temple Street with then Commissioner Catherine McCabe. And we did discuss illegal dumping. That was a topic of conversation. And here we are today. We also talked about the ATP fence, which you're helping us with too. So we should have more listening sessions.
Yes, we should.
So this is all about enforcement. Right, Councilman Luis A. Velez? We're going to have extra eyes on the streets to identify areas where there's illegal dumping, and if you get caught, you'll be prosecuted. So, to kick things off from the administration's end is our he's not environmental, but he's our economic development director, Michael Powell. Michael, please.
Thanks, good afternoon, everyone, councilmen, commissioners. This is an exciting day, and it's an exciting moment. I think this is also not just an example of what listening can really do, but we're really excited about our community collaborative initiative. This is an initiative that comes out of the Department of Environmental Protection that is designed to really kind of make sure that the reins of the state can be used locally in all the right ways. And so for us to be able to install 12 new cameras citywide, and Councilman, I look forward to working with you to figure out where we can place them in all of these hotspots, as the mayor alluded to make sure that we can really make sure that we're cleaning up Paterson and that we're holding people accountable for the types of things that should never happen. Paterson will not be a dumping ground. And for us to be able to scan and work with our DPW, as well as our police department, to hold people accountable, we really thank you, Commissioner, for being able to make these funds available to us in order to make this happen. And I look forward to continuing this partnership. It's really just the tip of the iceberg. I think, there's a whole series of new incentives that are coming down the pipeline in terms of the state, not the least of which is new brownfields funding and a whole bunch of other agendas that are tied to kind of a new urban agenda, how we can really revitalize the state cities. And as the governor famously says, and as the mayor always notes, as goes Paterson, as goes the state. And so I'm just really excited to have you both here. Thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of the citizens of Paterson, and we look forward to making a new day dawn. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well said, Michael. I like how you put everything in a proper perspective. We'll have a new day dawn in Paterson, hopefully free of illegal dumping. That's right. In that new day. At this time, since we have been joined by a member of the municipal council who's been an advocate, someone who's been outspoken about illegal dumping and a potential solution in partnership with the Department of Environmental Protection, it's none other than Councilman Luis A. Velez, and the A is for advocate. I got you on that, right?
Oh, you got me in that one.
Councilman.
All right. First of all, I apologize. I came a little bit late taking care of my ward.
Okay.
And that's one of the good things. Yes, boots in the ground. Mayor, one of the good things that our residents have is that they have eyes in Paterson. And you see something, say something, but sometimes seeing in one place is not enough. So you had to go around our city to see more to address more and to make sure that the quality of life of our city is improved every day. And how it's improved every day is clearing the image of Paterson. A clean city is a welcome city. A clean city will welcome people to develop. A clean city, it will welcome people to walk our streets, to shop in our streets, to stay local, to not go far out our city to get their things. So thank you, Commissioner, for looking into eyes in Paterson to bring the resources that we need to be able to attack those individuals that do not love Paterson, that come and dump in Paterson. But one thing is, I gotta say that famous quote, what they gonna do, what you going to do when they come for you, bad boy, bad boy. So, and the other thing is that I wanna take this opportunity to send a message, strong message to the judiciary system. You know, we put in all the efforts to make sure that our city runs properly, that our city looks beautiful, that, you know, we address the illegal dumping and all that stuff. But I want to send a strong message to the judiciary system. Please understand that every case that comes towards you or in front of you, take it seriously, put the law where the law belongs, and the fines where the fines belong. In our end, in the city council, we will try to amend every ordinance that applies to illegal dumping to increase to the max of penalty to this situation. And because we're not going to take it lightly, I live here, I love Paterson, and I want Paterson to succeed like everyone else wanted to see. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
That was good. That's why we call him the advocate. And he said, what you're going to do when they come for you. So that's for all those bad boys and bad girls that want to illegally dump in Paterson. In addition to congratulating our acting commissioner, I want to welcome him to Paterson. And he says that he is a fan of our city. In fact, he visits the Great Falls, which is the focal point of our economic vision, because we believe that it has been a catalyst in the past, and it'll be a catalyst in the future.
Yes, it will.
I like that. Perfect. So at this time, I want to introduce to the Paterson community our acting commissioner at the DEP, Sean LaTourette. Did I pronounce that properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, just like you wrote it.
Thank you.
Go get it,
Thank you
Sean.
very much. Thank
What
you.
you got, Sean?
I appreciate, Mayor, your having us here today to talk about a really critical issue that affects the vibrancy of our communities. So first, I want to thank you, Mayor, and your entire team, and importantly, DEP Assistant Commissioner Elizabeth Dragon.
Yes. Enter the dragon.
So thank you for having me in your city today, celebrate yet another step that Paterson is making to improve its natural environment and to drive economic development by again partnering with the Department of Environmental Protection in DEP's new initiative to fight illegal dumping. As the birthplace of the American Revolution, the
Yes.
Industrial Revolution,
Yes.
Paterson has had a special place in our American history. The mills and the factories established here, our country's first planned industrial city, allowed the United States to become an economic player on the world stage.
Right.
We appreciate the rich history that we find here and the natural beauty that is in the heart of this city. And on a personal note, as I mentioned to the mayor, I have a fondness for Paterson, for the Great Falls, where I bring my twin daughters to visit regularly and enjoy some of our favorite Middle Eastern food.
Oh.
And my partner Michael and I took our engagement photos at the Art Factory and at the Great Falls. You have a beautiful city.
Yes, keep going.
And the Murphy administration, as you know, is committed to our partnership, and the DEP is proud to help and support and empower our local communities to ensure safety, clean, and vibrant neighborhoods.
Yes.
Despite the transformative work here in Paterson and other urban centers throughout New Jersey, however, and sadly, there are too many folks who see our cities as a place to discard their unwanted waste.
Yeah.
Whether it's construction debris, stockpiles of dirty dirt, or even hazardous material, the stuff that some actors do not want to deal with or don't want to pay to properly dispose of illegally finds its way into our communities. And here's the thing. Those who violate our solid waste laws, they're not just harming our environment. They are damaging the spirit of our communities. Because dumping on our vibrant towns and cities in effect says that our fellow New Jerseyans are somehow less deserving of natural beauty and environmental protection, and nothing could be further from the truth. And too often that dumping happens in our environmental justice communities, those neighborhoods that already bear far more than their fair share of the burden of pollution that we all together create. The Collaboration and Deterrence Project, part of DEP's illegal dumping program, will provide important tools to deter and prosecute illegal dumping. Conceived of and developed by my dear friend and colleague, Elizabeth Dragon, and the folks of DEP's Community Collaborative Initiative and our Compliance and Enforcement Program, all fierce champions for enforcement of our environmental laws. As Elizabeth will touch on, this program will provide high-end deterrence equipment to our communities, including Paterson, to enable them to enforce against illegal dumping at the local level. And through our continued partnership with Attorney General Gurbir Grewal, another fierce environmental enforcement champion, we will improve environmental quality and empower our municipalities, offering them guidance and training on pathways for both civil and criminal enforcement. Make no mistake, when you dump on your neighbors, it's a crime. We will hold all those in New Jersey who seek to damage the environment and the spirit of our communities accountable. Thank you again, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes, sir. Oh. We should have him here more often.
I don't want to follow that.
And as someone who's half Lebanese and half Syrian, I appreciate your Middle Eastern reference and your proclivity for the cuisine. She is no stranger to Paterson. I mentioned earlier that back in March of 2020, right before this pandemic became so problematic for all of us, she was here for a listening session. And like we stated before, one of the items that just kept coming up was illegal dumping. And so it's encouraging to know that you're responding, and you're responding with results. And we'll take those cameras, and we'll take those violators, and we'll make it a cleaner city. So ladies and gentlemen, I present again a friend to Paterson, Assistant Commissioner Elizabeth Dragon. Enter the dragon. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
And
Take it
thank you,
away.
Paterson, for having me again here in your great city. Very much appreciate the support for the environment and your commitment to public health and the environment through all of your projects. Thank you for inviting us to celebrate with you and being selected in this illegal dumping program collaboration deterrence project. The department is so excited about bringing this opportunity to 11 municipalities, including Paterson, New Jersey. Illegal dumping program, the Collaboration and Deterrence Project, is a collaborative project originating from, as the mayor had said, from listening sessions across New Jersey, such as the one that we had here in Paterson last March. So we took our listening and we put it into action. So thank you very much for having and hosting us to have those listening sessions. With the proper support and the resources, we can make a difference in combating illegal dumping and improving the quality of life and lowering those costs that the communities are burdened with. The selected communities, as part of this project, will receive training and support on enforcement mechanisms to pursue individuals through civil and criminal means from DEP enforcement staff and the Attorney General's office through the Division of Law and the Division of Criminal Justice. Additionally, the project loans high-tech deterrence cameras, as we've been talking about, through Q-Star Technologies. The cameras provide the ability to capture illegal activity, but they also provide the capabilities to warn individuals to say, stop, I'm not going to do this anymore. They see flashing lights. They rethink their actions. So the team very much appreciates this opportunity again, and really appreciates the positive support that we've received for this project. In just the last week, we have received many feedback from private entities, non-governmental organizations, and counties interested in leading support for this project. We are considering all opportunities to create a cleaner and safer New Jersey. Additionally, this is a 10-month project, and we plan on opening this project to additional municipalities after this initial voyage is complete. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, and you are welcome anytime as well.
Thank you.
Over Middle Eastern food. We also want to thank you for giving us a gentleman who's hit the ground running here in Paterson. It's a part of this collaboration, this community collaboration. And I want to acknowledge AJ Joshi. AJ, do you want to say a few words? No, he's a modest young man. Okay, thank you, AJ. Your work speaks for itself. I do want anecdotal information from someone that does experience the ills of illegal dumping. In fact, he is the executive director of our Downtown Special Improvement District, and he is none other than Orlando Cruz.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Department of Environmental Protection, Economic Development, City Council. You know, it's been said for far too long, more often than not, Paterson is poised for progress. But hindering that progress is the welcoming committee that we typically get at the entry points of our city. Paterson is a destination city. As the commissioner alluded to, he was one of the over 300,000 people that visited our city. Whether it's the Great Falls or our vibrant business district, we are tired of that welcoming committee of the piles and piles of illegal dumping. So we are appreciative of this initiative from the state level, collaborating with our local authorities to put an end to those eyesores as these visitors continue to come in and enjoy what Paterson has to offer. So we look forward to this initiative, and hopefully the results will speak for themselves. Thank you very much.
Yes. So if anything, this proves there's power in partnerships.
Absolutely.
And we are so encouraged by this collaboration with the Department of Environmental Protection. We're sending a strong message as a part of this deterrence program that Paterson is not a dumping ground, and that there are going to be eyes on anyone who attempts to do so. And so don't dump on us in Paterson. That may be a catchy slogan or a bumper sticker, but it's going to be a reality in our city, because we'll be watching, and we are going to stop anyone who attempts to dump illegally in our city, because we take pride in Paterson. Thank you once again for joining us, Commissioner, Acting Commissioner, Councilman, Executive Director, Director, and AJ.
Thank you, team.
We will be back in several months, and we will report the progress we're making in deterring illegal dumping in Paterson. Thank you. Yes, Danny Backus. So right now, the city council has a fine structure, and it ranges from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500. And he's saying, and we're indicating we may increase the fine to about $2,000 so that it becomes more prohibitive. I think what happens when you hit somebody in the pockets, it prevents them from demonstrating that behavior in the future. So there will be strict penalties for anyone that dumps illegally in Paterson. Yeah, it is a major quality of life issue. In fact, several months ago, we announced that we would have a quality of life task force, and this would be a part of the work that they're doing with the quality of life. And quite frankly, when people come into the city, an ingress or an egress, when they're exiting, we don't want them to see a reminder of the fact that some people think Paterson is just anywhere where you can drop your garbage. That's not going to happen here anymore, because the DEP is showing its faith in Paterson by giving us these 12 deterrence cameras. Yeah, so yes, that's a very valid point. So right off of Route 80, I could mention that Kentucky and Wabash Avenues, that's a hot spot for illegal dumping. Then there's also 21st Avenue and Railroad Avenue, which is not too far from Route 80 as well. So and Route 19. So when you see some of these thoroughfares, when you see some of the access to the highways, when you have direct connection, then you start seeing a direct connection with illegal dumping. So yes, some of these individuals may be coming from out of town and they're coming from out of state. But if you're within our city and you're dumping too, you'll be punished as well. You know, it's hard to estimate, but quite frankly, yes, it becomes an environmental issue because there's an awful lot of garbage that we do weekly, I shouldn't say weekly, but we do regular cleanups, and we find all sorts of refuse. Yes, so our downtown section does daily cleanups of illegal dumping.
We've encountered last year over 424 illegal dumpings, which averages to about 1.5 a day that the guys, wake up to in the mornings and clean up before the business is open.
So 424, that's more than the number of days there are in a year.
Is that downtown or the whole city?
Downtown.
And what Danny asked earlier about other areas, I mean, it's 21st Avenue Railroad and then Kentucky, yeah, we see an awful lot there too, because it's very easy. Just drop it out of your truck or whatever it may be.
Bunker Hill too in particular.
Bunker Hill is an industrial section of our city, and yes, we've experienced illegal dumping there as well.
Just one question. When illegal dumping, I mean, what does that include? Like, I guess like maybe tires, batteries?
Yeah, it'll be tires, batteries, construction debris, mostly construction debris. Furniture is another item that dirty soil, that's right. So what they're saying, they may be saying that it's only Paterson, anything goes. Well, that's not going to go anymore. You taught me that. Rockin' Reverend.
What are some of the other municipalities?
I think it was Jersey City, Newark,
I thought it was Paterson,
Vineland. Yes.
I don't know that I have all of them here, actually.
But it is Jersey City, Newark, Vineland, Camden, Linden, Fairfield.
Salem, Trenton, Camden,
Patterson.
Trenton, Vernon, and Vineland. And I think the Vernon piece is important to note too, because while this is,
You want to get a mic?
I think one of the things that's important to note is that illegal dumping, while our urban core in New Jersey is the greatest victim of that type of illegal activity, it also occurs in our rural areas as well. So for places in the Highlands where so many of us get our drinking water from, illegal dumping over precious drinking water aquifers, illegal dumping near our precious Great Falls. So we're committed at DEP to protecting every community, and as Elizabeth had noted, we look forward to bringing on more partners in this initiative. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. This is also a matter, like you stated earlier, of environmental justice, because it often happens in urban communities where people think we don't care, but we do care. And we're not going to allow this to escalate any further. Rockin' Reverend.
And the cameras, how are the cameras provided or how much money?
Do you want to step up and explain Q-Star?
Yeah, please.
Sure, so the cameras are brought to us by Q-Star Technologies. The department purchased about 12 cameras for about $80,000. The cameras operate on a Bluetooth technology. Downloadable will be operated through the Paterson government. They'll be able to download the information that's collected and then help with the police department and possibly county prosecution and the state through enforcement mechanisms.
And so the cameras, they were paid, they were donated for a grant? They were purchased.
Yes, I receive money for equipment for DEP employees and to spread the, I can't be everywhere, and we heard the concerns that were coming from the citizens across the state, and we thought this would be a great opportunity to buy equipment that is going to help those concerns where we can't be all of the time. So. Thank you.
Any follow-up?
Thank you.
Sure, you good?
Any other questions? Yes.
Are the schools now going all virtual?
Okay, so it was decided yesterday that they're going to be at least out of session, or should I say, doing virtual learning until May. So,
They'll reevaluate.
yeah, they'll reevaluate, but they only have a month left in school, so they'll be. No, I don't think that there's a correlation. I think what's happening, teachers haven't been included just yet. So teachers would probably feel safer if they were included with the vaccination plan as far as category, I believe it's 1B where they would be included. So we're still on 1A that's been expanded. So I feel like that's one of the issues as well. Once teachers, when we roll out the vaccination for teachers, then that'll allay any concerns and then they can go back to school. So I think why they're leaving it open till May is because they want to hold out maybe June, for the most part in June, going back to school. Yeah, Rockin' Reverend.
Mr. Cahades from Habitat, he said that they are in the process of getting cameras for these illegal dumping hotspots. Is that in addition, collaboration, or were you aware of that they're planning to? Yeah, we were aware.
Yeah, no, we're aware, but that's not a part of this initiative. So that'll be like additional cameras. So more eyes on illegal dumping.
That's tied in with their neighborhood plan and their neighborhood revitalization strategy, of which
That's
the
right.
city supported.
And they are stationary cameras, correct?
That's
Yes.
correct. Unless they fly. Do they fly? I don't think so.
Not yet.
Drones, do you have drones?
We serve a lot of purpose. We're looking for illegal dumping, but at the same time.
Yes,
Solve a lot of crimes.
that's true. It could help deter other illegal activity. How about that? Multi-purpose deterrence. You taught me that. Thank you. He's all for it. And we're all done. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Can we stand?
Commissioner,
Thank you, thank you.
Which restaurant do you go to?
Oh, goodness.